Hello everybody, my name is Ben Hawes, and today I'm here to tell you all the different things that I think straight people should know. Now this video is not meant to be attacky, it's not meant to be offensive, it's just meant to tell you some stories about things that I've experienced as a gay person where people just say things to me just because they think they can, just because I'm gay. And the other thing I want to say before I start this video is that every person is different, everybody's gonna have something different to say. And so I don't want you to think that I'm speaking on behalf of all gay people. This is just me. So the first thing that really gets to me when people find out that I'm gay is that they think I have some sort of like heightened sexuality. So they think that I, as a gay person, am literally just more sexual than their straight peers. And that to me is just not the case. I don't think that I'm someone who's walking around talking about sex a lot or wanting to talk about sex a lot or just, having sex a lot. It's just not happening in my life to the point where I feel like I'm a more sexual being than my straight friends. Just because you find out that I'm gay, it doesn't mean that you can start all of a sudden asking me all these questions about my sex life or like what I prefer sexually or what my type is or anything like that. I just don't want to talk about it with you because I'm not a more sexual person than a straight person. It just doesn't make sense to me that you would start asking me and bombarding me with all these questions about my sexuality just because you find out that I'm gay. Another thing that gets to me is when people don't understand the difference between gender identity and sexual orientation. So I'm gay, it doesn't necessarily mean that I want to be a woman or that I want to change genders or anything like that. And I think sometimes people get confused about that, which is crazy because it's 2019 and you don't have to get confused about that. So just because I'm gay does not mean anything for my gender identity. It could, but for me, it just doesn't. Another thing is I notice that sometimes people treat me as though I'm an accessory to their life and that I'm somehow like a backup singer in their show. And that is not the case. If you know me, you know that I am my own main character in my own book, my own movie. I am not here to be an accessory for your life. I'm not just somebody who's an accessory for you. Sometimes this happens a lot with my friends where they have their whole life built around themselves and then they kind of pick me into their lives as their gay friend, and I don't really like that. I'm actually a really great person if you get to know me. I can offer so much more to you as a friend than just being gay. Another thing that really gets me about straight people when they find out that I'm gay is they start to ask me about what type of gay guy I am. And it's usually because they've heard the term twink or they've heard the term bear and they just want to know, am I a twink or a bear? And I cannot explain to you how much I don't identify with these terms. They just don't match up with how I live my life. Because in my mind, I'm just a regular guy, I'm living my life in the world, and I don't want to be labeled different things. I thought that's the whole point of the LGBTQ community, is not to be labeled things. So I don't really like to be called a bear or a twink or whatever. It just doesn't line up with how I think. And then the other thing with those terms is I don't want to sit here and explain them to you because I don't even care about them. So when straight people ask me what's a twink or what's a bear or what's a whatever, I find it so boring to explain it to them. It's not something that I care about. So if it's not something that I care about, I don't want to explain it to you. Another thing that is just the worst is when people really come up with a stereotype of what gay people are, and then they just kind of ask me all these questions and rapid fire quiz me on what my interests are. So for example, I am someone who is not that about Drag Race. I don't really watch the Real Housewives. I have tons of interests that are super gay, but they don't all line up with what you think a gay person is gonna be. So sometimes I'll be talking to somebody and they'll mention something about the Real Housewives. And they'll say oh, you watch the Real Housewives, right? And I'm like, no, I actually don't watch the Real Housewives. And they're like, oh, really? Oh, I thought you would have. And it's just so annoying because I don't watch them. I've actually watched it a little bit and it just does not align with what I think is entertaining. And the fact that people are so disappointed that me, a gay man, does not watch the Real Housewives, it just is exhausting. This is a big one. I don't want to hear about your other gay friend. It really gets to me when I meet somebody and they immediately start telling me about their gay friend. I am just not interested. I don't think that I need to be compared to your one other gay friend just because I happen to also be gay. And I don't want to tell you if I think your other gay friend is cute. So don't pull up pictures of your other gay friend and be like, what do you think? What do you think? I notice that people will show me pictures of their gay friends when there's literally no possibility that I would ever date them. They're literally in a different state or something. And someone will pull up a picture and be like, so? And I'm like, no, I don't care about your friend. I'm not here to date your friend. I'm just here. I don't understand the correlation that just because I'm gay, I have to know everything about the other gay people in your life. The other thing is I do not identify at all as any kind of queen. The word queen I don't identify with. It doesn't cross my mind to call myself a queen. So when people think to call me a queen just because I'm gay, it just doesn't compute. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand what you mean by that. And when someone says like, oh, you're just a crazy little queen or something like that, like I'm just like, what do you even mean? I don't even think you know what you mean. And so stop calling me that because it just doesn't, I don't like it. Another thing is that when straight people talk about gay rights, a lot of times they're only talking about marriage rights. And so a lot of times people will refer to being gay as illegal or legal. That's not what that is. Just because same-sex marriage is illegal in a certain state or country doesn't mean that being gay is illegal. There are places in the world where being gay is illegal. There's a huge difference. At the same time, just because marriage is legal somewhere doesn't mean that gay people and LGBTQ people have full rights. There's still workplace discrimination, there's still housing discrimination, there's tons of ways that people can discriminate against LGBTQ people while also having same-sex marriage be legal. So just because same-sex marriage is legal in a certain state or country doesn't mean that everything is sunshine and daisies for us. And the last thing that I want to say is that it's great when people want to be an LGBTQ ally, but there's a couple things that I want to say about people who are allies or people who identify as allies. The first thing is like, just because you wear a rainbow and sparkles on your cheek does not mean you're an ally to the community. Sometimes it takes actual fighting, actual donating, actual convincing, calling senators, all of that stuff, in order to actually make movement in different causes. You have to actually, if you want to be an ally to the community, which is fantastic and it's amazing and thank you, but like, you can't just put a rainbow on your cheek and call it a day. You have to actually fight for it. You have to actually make moves that are gonna change the world and use your power as a straight person and your privilege as a straight person to actually make a difference and actually do something rather than just kind of look cute in your rainbow flag. So the bottom line here is that I'm a proud person, I'm proud to be gay, I'm proud to be in the LGBTQ community, but really at the end of the day, I'm just myself, I'm just who I am, I'm Ben Hawes, you can follow me on Twitter. Like, being gay is not my entire identity. It's a part of who I am, it's a very great part of who I am, and it's a huge part of why I am who I am. But when people come up to me and act like I'm a certain way just because they find out that I'm gay, that's where I really start to draw a line. Because I don't want people to think that just because I'm gay, that means X, Y, and Z. I want people to find out that I'm gay and say, cool, what's next? What else do you like? What else are you passionate about? What gets you excited? And so I just don't like being minimized. That's it. I don't want to be minimized into your stereotype of what a gay person is. So, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to what I have to say. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm really trying to build up my subscribers, and like the video and do all the different things on YouTube. And then you can follow me on Twitter, on Instagram. I'll put the link in the bio, and have a great day.